you couldn't go into a pub. You'd go to the men and the women would say, we'll go out for a night out. There's a lovely pub down the town or in the village, wherever it would be. And the minute they'd know you were after pulling onto the camp, automatically there was a big sign up, no gypsies or travellers allowed in. So we knew it was a waste of time to even go through the door, which is, I think, that was terrible. People that didn't see us, didn't know anything about us, their names, or we knew nothing about them. And it isn't that we'd be going into a pub trying to beg to drink. We would have money in our pocket to pay for it, and we wouldn't be going in, certainly, to fight with the people.
Well, I think years ago, the travellers in Ireland got it very tough, not only by the police, but by the local community, because they weren't told to leave the pub. There was a sign saying, do not, in other words, don't enter a pub. Travellers not allowed. I mean, you only see something like that if there's no dogs allowed, like animals. There were signs like that, and the traveller, it was easier for the traveller to put their heads down and walk away. But nowadays they know they don't have to do that.
And in pubs I don't drink anyhow. I did drink years ago, but not this past 20 odd years I haven't drunk. And in every sign, no gypsy served, no gypsy served. Well, if that's the case, if you put up no black served here, no Indian served here, no Bosnian served here, if that was put up, that's a racist straight away. So then we got in touch with people and we had all them signs took down. That we were just getting classed the same as with two heads on us.
Even up to today, I goes in places with shops and whatever, and I'd say to children, don't be talking. But Mummy, why? I said, because as soon as you find out you're a traveller, they'll only follow you, and I get very embarrassed. I think it's through, I know I shouldn't, but I think it's through my own experience from school. When he said, oh, you're a gypper, and I, well, no. Well, where'd you live then? I live in a house, and yeah, but your family live in caravans. I said, no, they don't. I deny, I feel terrible now that I had to deny who it was.
I do remember going back to Ireland on holiday and with members of my family going to a holiday resort with my nephews and nieces, which I got an awful lot of, and being refused a pot of tea because we were travellers. And when at the time I was leaving, the next day I was flying home, if I was back again I would have stood my ground and I would have queried it, but I was so hurt by it. And I thought, this is only going back about 7 years ago.
We have a cousin that got killed a couple of years back, and he was only 11 for being a traveller. We went first day to school. They were calling him little Johnny. He was. They were calling him gypsies and whatever. You're from the caravan park at the bottom. It's like a site. You have no toilets. You got no water. You just smell. And he come home crying. His father gave him a pound to go to the shop. He's gone to the shop. There was big boys from the school outside the shop. He begged the man behind the counter. He said, please. These boys, he said, you know, you go to their school, I've seen you coming out the gates. He said, I know, dude, but they're going to kill me, please. Please, just ring me daddy and ask me daddy come and get me. The man put him out of the shop anyway. He's ran. One fella's come behind him with a paving block and killed him stone dead. All for being a traveller. And all he had was 1 day of schooling. That was the case of Johnny Delaney from Liverpool in Oil Street.
Yeah, I remember when Johnny Delaney's case came up, and it was very horrifying for the travelling community because everyone seemed to have mourned such a young boy, and the way he died. It was such an awful tragedy, and I think it made people realise, you know, this has happened to Johnny Delaney. There was no big issues on the paper, there was no big scene about it, but let it being a non-traveller, it would have been all over the place. And yeah, it makes the traveller think, you know, it's only a traveller, it's not worth it. Well, I'm sorry, that shouldn't have happened like that. It should have, everyone should have known about it, and there should have been a lot more about what has happened, and it is an awful tragedy of a boy so young.